Welcome to another exciting episode of the Million Dollar Peddlers. I'm Paperboy.
I'm Mr. Magazine.
And it's BOLO Day. We go through the sales for the past week, some highlights from eBay, and we bring them to you. We discuss why they sold, what they are, how you can find them out there, and much, much more. And I need to take a breath, so take it away, Mr. Magazine.
All right, it is toy season, and here we have Scarlet Swivel Arm G.I. Joe, vintage 1983 4-inch figure with card. And I took a $95 offer on this. And
now, you must have picked up a nice collection of G.I. Joes, because like every week you seem to be bringing us G.I. Joe.
I've been stockpiling G.I. Joes for probably 3 years now.
Okay.
Collections, and just because I was waiting for the right lister that knew what they were doing, and this kid knows what he's doing. He knows the figures, he knows the characters, he knows how to research them, he knows the weapons that go with them. It takes him a little while to put them together, but definitely make more money in the long run that way.
Would he happen to be a good lister to list Der Spiegel magazines? Because I think I've been saving those for about the last 20 years, waiting to learn German.
I had someone list a bunch of those, and we haven't sold very many.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
So I'll keep stockpiling mine.
Next up, another action figure. This is Reggie White.
Raise the roof.
Eagle starting lineup figure. Kenner starting lineup, 1988. This was the first series, the first year. Package has seen better days. Got a tear on it, a little yellowing up top. I think I took $60 on this. They were probably 100 or more at one point, but
wow.
I'm happy with 60.
Now, were they 100 or more because it was Reggie White, or the football always were a little harder to find, weren't
certain
they?
teams and locations were harder to find than other ones. Like I know the Bills were a tough one from 1988. Remember the white card? That's the 88 year. But it all depends on the player and team.
And I know back in the day, the Jazz basketball, I think, were really tough, if I remember right.
Yeah, Malone and Stockton for sure.
There you go.
All right, next up, Elvis Presley magazine, The King's Chariots, 1978.
Oh.
Don't buy Elvis after he passed away. Even some, maybe early Elvis stuff, I would say 50s and 60s. Once you get into the 70s, it's like buying JFK, Maryland, stuff like that. There's just so much of it out there. So this is just one of those things where don't get deceived if someone wants $5 on this, walk away.
Yeah, and they did so many different magazines and tributes to them that I'm sure there's somebody out there buying all of them, and I'm sure there's one or two that are really, really rare.
Yeah.
But as a general rule, yeah, I've made the mistake of buying piles of Elvis stuff in the past before, and now I just walk away, unless it's old.
Especially when he looks like a piñata. But hey, who am I to say? Moving on. 2008 Ford Crown Victoria Green Light Hot Pursuit. I cast $67. I don't know what's good and what's not good, but I know Green Light always sells for a premium. This was a rare version of a Green Light car. It's a cop car. Cop cars sell, and specific ones sell too, because people might just collect Crown Victorias, cop cars, and so forth. It all depends. But
now, Green Light, is that like a brand like Hot Wheels?
Yep,
or
exactly. Yep. A little higher end. They're probably $10 new.
Oh,
wow. Or Hot Wheels could be $1 or $2.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. Anything Hot Pursuit or Green Light, if you see them for $3, $4, $5, I would scarf them up, because even the common ones sell for $15.
Now, do you think that people bought those for their kids to play with, or were those more collectible?
Probably. I mean, I guess my kid likes police cars. I'm buying them Hot Wheels ones.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
I got this from a 35-year-old grown man, so I guess that
right.
He's into the emergency vehicles and so forth.
Right.
Next up, Vogue British, January 2000, Giselle Bundchen, Johnny Depp, Christina Ricci, and someone kept bugging me for $10. I had this for $55 for a few years now. Now it's on sale for $33. $10, then $12, then $15, then $20, and I just kept declining or ignoring. And I think today he paid the full $33.
So he wanted.
Someone
did.
I don't know if it was him, but someone did. Yeah.
Yep. So stick to your prices, and eventually. Yep.
You got it. And last up, Super Bowl 16 Pontiac Silverdome NFL Gold replica ticket. This is something where I got low offers as well. It's probably realistically worth $10 to $15. I took $8, but the person kept offering me $4 and $5. I held out, and I got the price I felt was fair to me, so it was $8. But
now, how were those issued?
That is a good question. I do not have an answer for you, but I do know that someone sold me a whole box of hundreds of them.
Oh, okay.
I think they were reproduced after the Super Bowl 25, so they only go up to, I think, Super Bowl 25, something like that. So,
interesting.
You out.
Not really, but thank you.
Want to buy some?
Montana Treasure Magazine, August 1949, first issue with Carol Fraser and Helena, Montana. We talk all the time that believe it or not, there are people out there that collect first issues and got $36 out of this. Now, you've probably never had a Montana Treasure magazine, have you?
Don't think so, no.
Yeah, not a common magazine by any means. I believe that I did pick up a couple of other issues, and I asked, I think, $28 on those. But because this is the first issue, I got $36. Guess which one was the one that sold?
This one?
Good guess. So the first issue actually did sell for the $36, did get a bid on it. Because, again, first issues tend to be more collectible. Or magazines with Carol Fraser. Up next, Jack Dempsey versus George Carpenter boxing match, 1921. Original art by Casey Orr.
Wow.
Picked that up at Heritage.
Very cool.
It's a larger size. Unfortunately, it's going to cost me a little bit to ship because it was 17.5 by 21.5. Ink over graphite on Bristol board. One-of-a-kind piece of original art leading up to the fight of the century. I did pick that up over at Heritage. I am certain that I made money on it. And again, I do like bringing you occasionally some original art that I sold, primarily because, again, that was, 3.5 years ago. I started buying original art. I knew absolutely nothing about it whatsoever. And we've done a video before that I'm sure you've liked and subscribed because of, where we talked about how long it takes to get into a niche. And realistically, it's a couple of years to get into it. At this point, I'm making more money than I'm spending out of original art. So, I'm getting better at figuring out what buys, and I see the stuff that didn't sell, and I don't bid for that kind of stuff anymore. So it takes a while, about 2 years to kind of get into a niche. Up next, Michael Jackson, Off the Wall, Unopened CD, Epic Longbox style, $145.50. My dear aunt unfortunately passed away. She did have a number of these, the old original. It does have the little bit of the wear down on the left side, as you can see, but otherwise it's nice overall. They tend to go for between $100 to $200 over on eBay. Put this up for bid. It went for $145.50. So if you are able to find something like this, pretty much anything, I would say, if you're able to find it in the old long box,
I would say so.
Definitely do buy it, especially if they're not asking much on it. And even sometimes the old long boxes themselves will sell. They are out there. You don't find them very often, but they are out there. Up next, Hoffman Seed Catalog, 1992, hay, corn, and soybeans. I brought this up because I guess it is a little older now. It is 32 years old, but when you see catalogs, a lot of people will sell the agricultural catalogs, and you tend to find those heading back into the late 1800s, early 1900s, and those obviously sell.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking John Deere 1940s and 50s, not 1992, but yeah, very cool.
Exactly. So that was why I wanted to bring this up, to show you that the newer stuff will sell as well. And depending upon where you live at, now we happen to live around a lot of various farms. This kind of thing is possible to find. If I drive 45 minutes outside of where I live at, I can find things like this. If you happen to live in a more rural area, you may say, wait a minute, my next door neighbor's got a big pile of those out in his barn. And you could go over and say, hey, Jethro, you mind if I take these? And he'll look at you and go, get them out of here. And you're looking at $32.23 bills left and right. Oof. But make sure you ask Jethro before you take them. Up next, Purina Chow, What's Your Quiz? Score booklet, Purina Mills, 1944. Now this took since 2013 to sell. So this is 80 years old. It went for half the price and took 10 years to sell versus the other thing sold in half a year. So it just goes to show that a lot of people have it in their head that the old stuff is definitely better. It's not. And one of the reasons why is because you don't have that much competition on the new stuff. Because a lot of people don't think to list something from 1992.
Exactly.
They say that's too new, and that could be a really good niche.
Like if it's John, like I said, John Deere 1940s, they're probably saving that. Where that one they're throwing it out.
They're throwing it out. Yep, definitely. Up next, latest song hits, Rhythm and Blues magazine, November 1957 with Elvis Presley. Maybe Elvis is somebody good. Jazz and Frankie Lyman. Have you ever seen this magazine before, Mr. Magazine?
Does not look familiar.
Yeah, Rhythm and Blues. Now, I was at a sale, and they had a small pile of similar magazines, which this gives the lyrics of the songs. And And you'll see Song Hits magazines out there. You'll see the old Hit Parader magazines. Those things you'll see out there. I had never seen the Rhythm and Blues one before, and I said, I know that's going to be lower print run.
Yeah.
And if you got a typical Song Hits or a typical Hit Parader, 10, 12, 15 bucks.
Yep.
This one for 48.
Nice.
So it just goes to show, again, that you find something or other like this, you just know the print run's going to be lower, you're going to ask a higher price on it, and you're going to end up getting it. And the final item we have today, it's Catalog Day. Sears Automotive Supply Catalog, 1960s moped, scooter, motorcycle accessories. I ended up taking a $24 offer on it, which seems low, but these actually are more common than you would think. And it's kind of funny because, again, this is, another catalog that I put up over here, and it went for less money than the one from 1992. But look at that.
Cool.
And that's one of those you want to put a whole bunch of pictures up in order to make the sale. And then you always do that as well because it will save you time answering because people can click on that and read. So if somebody wants to say to you, does it have motorcycle headlights? They can look it up themselves.
Cool.
Or if they do ask you, you can look it up yourself without having to pull the item.
Yeah.
Definitely a way to save yourself a lot of questions in the long run. So hopefully that helps you a little bit. Do hit the like button if you could. And we will see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.